Here's the cold, hard truth. Without water, you're on a countdown to death. 3 days, that's all your body gives you before dehydration shuts it down for good. No exceptions, no second chances. And here's the kicker. When society crumbles, clean drinking water is the first thing to disappear. Store shelves, stripped bare. Faucets, bone dry. Even that crystal clear stream you think is safe, it's probably carrying bacteria that'll wreck you faster than thirst. Most people panic. They grab soda, beer, or whatever liquids within reach. Bad move. Those choices don't save you, they kill you faster. And if you're over 55, you're in even deeper trouble. Aging kidneys and common meds mean your body's already fighting an uphill battle, and dehydration will take you out quicker than the rest. But here's the twist. Survival isn't just about water. Scattered around your home, your kitchen, your bathroom, even your backyard, are hidden liquids you've probably never thought of. Strange, overlooked, but life-saving. These aren't your typical drinks, but when water's gone, they could be the difference between life and death. Stick around because in this video, we're breaking down 10 survival drinks you can rely on when the taps run dry. And trust me, number 1 will blow your mind. Herbal teas, the silent hydration hero. When the taps run dry and panic sets in, people grab whatever liquid they can find, often making deadly mistakes. Coffee, it speeds up dehydration. Alcohol, it's a one-way ticket to faster fluid loss, but sitting quietly in your pantry is an unsung hero. Herbal teas. These aren't just fancy drinks for a cozy evening, they're survival tools hiding in plain sight. Unlike caffeinated beverages that rob your body of moisture, herbal teas work with your system, not against it. Every sip hydrates, replenishing what your body desperately needs, without the hidden costs. For seniors, this is a game changer. As the body ages, its ability to regulate fluids weakens, and dehydration becomes a faster killer. Herbal teas offer hydration without the side effects, making them a lifeline for older adults. But hydration is just the beginning. Herbal teas come with medicinal benefits that turn them into multi-purpose survival tools. Chamomile can calm your nerves and help you sleep when stress keeps you awake. Peppermint soothes upset stomachs, especially when survival food wreaks havoc on your digestion. Ginger fights nausea and improves circulation, keeping your body functioning when it's on the edge. These aren't just drinks, they're liquid medicine. And let's talk about storage. Unlike milk or juice that spoils in days, herbal teas can sit on your shelf for years without losing their value. A single box of tea bags can outlast power outages, store closures, and weeks of chaos. When everything else in your pantry is rotting, those little packets remain a dependable source of hydration and comfort. Comfort, that's another overlooked survival tool. In the middle of a crisis, when every sound feels like a threat, the warmth of a steaming mug can do more than quench your thirst. It can calm your mind, lower your stress, and help you think clearly. And clear thinking is what keeps you alive when every decision matters. Most people dismiss herbal teas as luxuries, but in survival they're anything but. They're hydration, medicine, and morale boosters all rolled into one. When water is gone, and every sip counts, these quiet leaves prove their worth. Overlooked? Maybe. But useless? Never. In the fight for survival, herbal teas are a secret weapon you can't afford to ignore. 2. Canned vegetable juice, liquid nutrition in a crisis. When clean water disappears and desperation takes over, people will drink anything they can get their hands on. But while others are reaching for sugary sodas or alcohol, you should be grabbing something that's been sitting in your pantry all along. Canned vegetable juice. It might not look like much, too salty, too processed, too ordinary. But in survival, function beats flavor every time. First, let's get one thing straight. Canned vegetable juice is hydration. Yes, it's salty, but your body can still use the liquid to keep going when water is nowhere to be found. For seniors, who are more vulnerable to dehydration due to slower kidney function, this can be a lifesaver. The sodium, often seen as a downside, actually helps in hot conditions where sweat drains your body of fluids. It keeps your system balanced, preventing dizziness and collapse when you need to stay on your feet. But hydration isn't the only thing canned vegetable juice offers. It's packed with nutrients that plain water can't provide. Carrots bring beta-carotene, tomatoes deliver potassium, and celery adds electrolytes. These aren't just fancy words, they're survival essentials. When your next meal is uncertain, Every sip of vegetable juice gives you both hydration and the energy to keep moving. And in a crisis, movement often means survival. Now, let's talk about storage. Fresh produce rots in days, but canned juice can sit on your shelf for months, even years. When your neighbors are throwing out spoiled food, you'll have a stash of liquid nutrition ready to go. And it's not just for you. In a barter situation, canned vegetable juice becomes a valuable currency. People will trade almost anything for a safe, ready-to-drink source of hydration and calories. What once cost you pennies could become priceless. Of course, it's not perfect. The high sodium content means you'll need to ration it carefully. If you can, mix it with clean water to stretch it further. But even on its own, it's better than nothing. Survival isn't about finding the perfect solution. It's about making the best of what you have, and when the taps run dry, canned vegetable juice proves that even the most ordinary pantry item can be the difference between life and death. 3. Coconut water, nature's survival drink. When thirst takes over, and clean water is nowhere to be found, most people make the same mistakes. They reach for sodas, energy drinks, or alcohol, liquids that drain hydration faster than they replace it. But there's one drink that stands out as a survival powerhouse: coconut water. It's not just a trendy beachside refreshment, it's a life-saving liquid hiding in plain sight. Coconut water is over 90% pure water, but it's what's in the other 10% that makes it special. Packed with natural electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, and sodium, it keeps your body balanced when plain water isn't enough. This is especially critical for seniors, whose bodies struggle to regulate fluids under stress. Potassium, in particular, is a game changer. It prevents muscle cramps and restores function, giving you the strength to keep moving when every step counts, and movement is survival. Whether you're scavenging for supplies or escaping danger, staying mobile can mean the difference between life and death. Coconut water helps you do that. A single cup contains more potassium than a banana, making it a quick and effective way to fight dehydration and exhaustion. But the benefits don't stop there. Coconut water is naturally sterile when sealed inside the shell, meaning it's safe to drink straight. In a world where untreated water can carry bacteria and parasites, that purity is priceless. Even canned or bottled coconut water, if stored properly, remains safe long after tap water becomes undrinkable. This makes it a reliable option for both your pantry and your bug-out bag. And let's not forget its shelf life. Sealed cartons or bottles can last for months without refrigeration, making them a dependable backup when other supplies fail. In a survival scenario, that kind of reliability is gold. Speaking of gold, coconut water also has value as a barter item. When your neighbors are desperate for hydration, a single carton can become a powerful trading tool. Its worth skyrockets in a crisis, turning it into liquid currency. Of course, coconut water isn't perfect. Drinking too much can strain your kidneys, especially if they're already fragile. But when rationed wisely, it fills the gap between thirst and collapse. It's not just a drink, it's life support in a bottle. When water runs out, coconut water proves that nature has its own survival plan. Those clear drops from a green shell might be the only thing standing between you and dehydration. In the fight for survival, it's not just a luxury, it's a necessity. 4. Melted ice and snow. The winter gamble. When the taps run dry and bottled water is a distant memory, winter offers what seems like an obvious solution. Snow and ice. It looks clean, feels pure, and in desperation, people shove handfuls into their mouths, thinking they've found a lifeline. But here's the brutal truth. Eating snow doesn't hydrate you. It drains you. Snow is mostly air, a fluffy illusion that tricks you into thinking it's more than it is. When you eat it raw, your body has to burn precious energy to melt it. And that energy loss lowers your core temperature. For seniors who already struggle to regulate body heat, this can be a death sentence. Hypothermia doesn't knock politely. It sneaks in. First, you shiver. Then confusion sets in. Before you know it, you're collapsing, and survival becomes a distant hope. The first rule of snow survival: melt it. Whether it's over a fire, on a stove, or even in a dark container left in the sun, turning snow into liquid water is non-negotiable. Once melted, it's drinkable, but not yet safe. That's where the second rule comes in: purification. Even the cleanest-looking snow can carry pollutants, dirt, or bacteria. For younger people, this might mean a stomachache. For older adults, it could mean dehydration, kidney strain, or worse. Boiling the melted snow for at least a minute or running it through a filter transforms it from risky to reliable. And let's not overlook the psychological edge. While others panic, unsure where their next drink will come from, the person with a pot of melted purified snow isn't just hydrated. They're confident. That confidence fuels endurance, and endurance turns into leadership when others look for someone to follow. In a barter economy, melted snow becomes liquid gold. In snow-covered neighborhoods, those with the tools to melt and purify it hold a resource that can be traded for food, firewood, or medicine. But here's the bottom line. Snow and ice are only life-saving if you treat them with respect. Left frozen, they steal your body heat. Left unpurified, they steal your health. Properly melted and boiled, they give back what survival takes away: hydration, warmth, and hope. 5. Rice water, the cloudy lifeline. Most people see rice water as a byproduct, something to pour down the drain after cooking. But in survival, that cloudy liquid becomes a hidden gem, a drink that offers more than just hydration. It's a simple, overlooked resource that can mean the difference between weakness and endurance. When you boil rice, starches seep into the water, creating a milky liquid packed with carbohydrates, trace minerals, and small amounts of protein. For seniors, whose energy reserves deplete faster under stress, these extra carbs can be a game changer. It's not just hydration, it's fuel for a body that's running on empty. What makes rice water even more valuable is how gentle it is on the stomach. Dehydration often brings nausea, diarrhea, or cramps, especially when untreated water is all that's available. Rice water coats the stomach lining, calming irritation and slowing fluid loss. In survival, holding onto the hydration you already have is just as critical as replacing it. And here's the beauty of it. Rice is everywhere. Even in a collapse, a bag of rice is likely to outlast most other staples in your pantry. That means rice water isn't just a one-time solution. It's repeatable and sustainable. A single pot can hydrate, soothe, and even provide a small amount of nutrition, all at the same time. Storage adds another layer of practicality. Rice water can be kept in clean containers for a day or two, giving you a ready-to-drink option without the need to constantly reheat meals. In blackout conditions where fuel is as precious as food, this can be a lifesaver. And don't underestimate its barter value. In a community where medical supplies are scarce, a cup of rice water that eases a sick stomach or gives a child quick energy becomes a powerful trading tool. Of course, rice water isn't perfect. It won't replace lost electrolytes like coconut water, and drinking too much without balance can spike blood sugar. But survival isn't about perfection, it's about making the most of what you have. In a world where every sip counts, rice water proves that even the simplest kitchen habit can hide survival potential. 6. Clear broths and soups. Liquid strength. A pot of broth simmering on the stove might seem like a comfort food, but in survival it's so much more. Clear broths and soups transform into hydration, nutrition, and even medicine when the world around you collapses. They're not just meals, they're lifelines. Unlike plain water, broth carries dissolved minerals, salts, and proteins that your body desperately needs after stress or sickness. Sodium helps replace what you lose through sweat, potassium supports muscle function, and even a small amount of fat provides energy. For seniors whose bodies tire faster and recover slower, every sip is like drinking strength itself. But the benefits go beyond physical. Broths are incredibly gentle on the stomach, making them ideal for rehydrating when dehydration has caused nausea or diarrhea. Plain water might pass through your system too quickly, but a warm soup lingers, rehydrating slowly while calming your digestive system. This means your body can actually hold on to the fluids instead of losing them again. The versatility of broth is another reason it's a survival powerhouse. You can make it from almost anything: bones, canned vegetables, dried herbs, or even bouillon cubes tucked away in storage. This means you can stretch scraps into something that not only feeds your body but also boosts morale. And in a crisis, morale is as vital as calories. A warm bowl of broth can provide comfort and focus, helping you make better decisions when every choice matters. Fuel conservation is another hidden benefit. A single pot of broth can be reheated and sipped over hours, reducing the need to burn firewood or gas multiple times. In blackout conditions, saving fuel is nearly as important as saving food. And let's not forget its barter potential. In a community struggling with sickness, a pot of broth isn't just a meal, it's medicine. Neighbors would trade heavily for that kind of relief, proving its worth beyond personal use. Of course, broth isn't a perfect solution. It lacks the dense calories of grains or fats, so it can't sustain you forever. But survival isn't about forever. It's about making it through the next day. And on that front, clear broths and soups deliver far more than their humble ingredients suggest. Their hydration, healing, and hope served in every steaming cup. Aloe vera water. The healing hydration hidden in plain sight. Most people think of aloe vera as a sunburn remedy, a gel you slap on your skin after too much time in the sun. But beneath that thick green leaf lies a survival secret that most overlook. Aloe vera water, when prepared correctly, transforms this common houseplant into a dual-purpose lifesaver, hydration and medicine in one. Here's how it works. Inside the aloe leaf, you'll find two parts: a bitter yellow sap that's toxic and must be avoided, and the clear inner gel. That gel, when cleaned and diluted properly, becomes a drinkable liquid with surprising benefits. It doesn't just quench thirst, it cools the body, reduces inflammation, and soothes digestive issues. For seniors, who often deal with sensitive stomachs or medication side effects, this can be a game changer. Every sip offers relief, making it more than just hydration. It's comfort in a glass. But the real value of aloe vera water shines in survival scenarios. When food spoils or untreated water causes stomach problems, aloe vera water steps in to calm irritation, reduce cramps, and help the body retain fluids. Unlike plain water, which can pass through the system too quickly during illness, aloe vera water helps the body hold on to hydration longer. That's a survival edge you can't afford to ignore. What makes aloe vera even more remarkable is its renewability. Aloe plants are easy to grow, require minimal care, and thrive with little water. While bottled water disappears from store shelves, an aloe plant keeps producing leaf after leaf, turning your home into a self-sustaining hydration source. And the act of harvesting and preparing aloe vera water offers more than just physical benefits. It restores a sense of control. In a crisis, that psychological boost can mean the difference between panic and clear-headed decision-making. Aloe vera water also holds value in a barter economy. A neighbor suffering from food poisoning or dehydration will see it not as a simple plant extract, but as a life-saving remedy worth trading for. What's sitting quietly in a pot on your windowsill today could become one of the most sought-after resources in a collapse. Of course, preparation is key. The yellow sap inside the leaf is toxic if consumed, so you need to know what you're doing. But with a little knowledge and care, aloe vera water transforms from a decorative plant into a survival tool. When clean water is gone, this humble houseplant proves that healing and hydration can grow right in your home. 8. Diluted fruit juices. Sweet survival in a glass. Fruit juice might seem like a luxury, a sugary treat for breakfast or a quick snack. But in survival, that same carton of juice becomes a hidden weapon, a source of hydration and energy when you need it most. The trick: dilution. Straight fruit juice, while packed with natural sugars, can be a double-edged sword. Those sugars spike your blood glucose, giving you a quick burst of energy, but leaving you drained soon after. For seniors, especially those managing diabetes or heart conditions, that sugar rush can be dangerous. But when you dilute juice with clean water, it transforms into a balanced survival drink. The sweetness remains, providing just enough energy, while the water stretches every ounce into multiple servings. What was once a single glass now becomes a sustainable source of hydration. The benefits don't stop there. Fruit juices are loaded with vitamins and minerals that plain water can't offer. Orange juice delivers vitamin C to boost your immune system. Apple juice provides potassium to support muscle function. Even grape juice offers antioxidants that improve circulation. When diluted, each sip becomes a combination of hydration and nutrition, fueling your body and aiding recovery. Another advantage: availability. Juice boxes, shelf-stable cartons, and canned concentrates often last for months without refrigeration. In a blackout, when fresh produce and dairy spoil quickly, these small containers become liquid insurance. For families watching their food supplies dwindle, diluted juice offers a way to stretch resources while keeping everyone hydrated and nourished. The psychological impact is just as important. For children, the familiar taste of juice can provide comfort in a chaotic situation. For seniors, A warm cup of diluted juice served like tea can be soothing and reassuring. These small moments of normalcy create stability, and stability strengthens survival, and let's not forget barter value. In a community where clean fluids are scarce, a carton of juice, diluted or not, becomes a valuable trade item. A neighbor with nothing but dry rations might be willing to trade heavily for a drink that hydrates and nourishes. Of course, juice isn't a perfect replacement for water. It's best used as a supplement, rationed carefully to make it last. But in survival, perfection isn't the goal. Practicality is. Diluted fruit juices prove that even the sweetest indulgence, handled wisely, can become a smart survival strategy. 9. Rainwater, nature's free survival gift. When the skies open up and rain begins to fall, most people see it as just another weather event. But for a prepared survivor, every drop is liquid gold, a free resource that can mean the difference between life and death when clean water is gone. Rainwater is one of nature's simplest gifts, yet it's often overlooked. A single storm can fill barrels, buckets, or even pots left outside, providing a renewable source of hydration. In a collapse, that collection isn't just water, it's independence. No more relying on empty store shelves or broken water systems. But here's the catch. Raw rainwater isn't always safe to drink. As it falls through polluted air or runs off dirty surfaces, it can pick up chemicals, dirt, and bacteria. Drinking it straight can lead to sickness, stripping your body of the hydration you're trying to gain. That's where preparation comes in. Boiling rainwater for at least a minute kills harmful microbes, while simple filters, whether store-bought or improvised with cloth, remove debris and grit. These steps turn rainwater from a potential hazard into a reliable lifeline, and unlike bottled water which runs out, rainwater replenishes itself. Each storm resets the clock, giving you another chance to refill your supplies. For seniors, the convenience of collecting water right outside the door is invaluable. Carrying heavy loads from distant sources isn't always an option, making rainwater a practical and accessible solution. The psychological comfort it provides is just as important. In a crisis, watching barrels fill with fresh rain restores hope, proving that survival doesn't depend on stores or systems, it depends on readiness. Rainwater also holds significant barter value. Neighbors without collection systems will be desperate for clean water, willing to trade food, fuel, or medicine for just a few liters. What falls freely from the sky becomes a powerful currency in a collapse. Rainwater proves a simple truth: survival isn't just about what you store, it's about what you can capture. Every drop carries the message that those who prepare will always have a way to drink again. 10. Distilled water from condensation. Purity in every drop. When survival pushes you to the edge, even the air around you can become a source of life. Distilled water created through condensation is one of the purest and most reliable survival resources you can produce. It's not fast and it's not flashy, but it's effective, and in a collapse, that's all that matters. Here's how it works. Every water source, whether it's a river, a puddle, or even seawater, carries contaminants. Bacteria, chemicals, and minerals can turn a drink into a death sentence. Boiling removes some threats and filters handle others, but condensation takes it a step further. As impure water heats, it turns into vapor, leaving toxins behind. That vapor, when cooled and collected, becomes distilled water, clean, safe, and drinkable. The beauty of this method lies in its simplicity. You don't need high-tech equipment to make it work. A clear plastic sheet stretched over a pit, a cup in the center, and sunlight above is enough to create a crude but effective distillation setup. Each drop collected proves that survival doesn't always require advanced tools, just knowledge and patience. For seniors, distilled water is especially valuable. Aging kidneys struggle to process impurities, and even small amounts of salt or bacteria can cause serious harm. Distilled water removes those risks, offering hydration that's as pure as it gets. And in survival, purity matters. Without safe water, no other effort, no matter how well planned, will last long. The psychological impact of distillation is just as powerful. Watching droplets gather feels like reclaiming control in a world that's spiraling out of it. Each bead of water is proof that resourcefulness can outlast chaos. And while the process is slow, it's steady. A few ounces at a time, distilled water shows that patience is a survival skill in itself. In the end, condensation teaches a simple lesson: even the air around you can be turned into life. All it takes is the will to capture it. When clean water is gone, distilled water proves that survival isn't about luxury, it's about ingenuity. Every drop is a reminder that knowledge is the ultimate survival tool.